Yo, 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 what's up everybody? MK Dutch here, previously known as Lord Smoke, known by my friends as Grim, or whatever you want to call me. I'm just gonna talk about why I've been gone for so long, why my upload schedule has been so sloppy, and after that I'm gonna tell you guys what's the future of this channel, so let's get into it. So one of the most important things I should mention is the reason why I've been so gone for these last 2 years is because I was in college, and college takes up a lot of time. I did drop out though, so I'm a disappointment to my parents. But other than that, it's just been working and all that type of stuff. Now the reason why my uploading has just been so sloppy again is because there's been a lot of things going on in life, and it's just kind of hard to balance it with YouTube and trying to actually keep a channel going, which is why I'm here to tell you guys about some pretty important news in my opinion. So as you know, I've tried to make a couple of roleplays on this channel that ultimately didn't see the end of their lifespan, which is because I was younger and I just really didn't know where I wanted to take the story and all that. But over these last couple of years, I've kind of developed more of a creative mindset and patience with my projects, which is why I am proud to announce that I have partnered up with my friends, and we have created our own completely separate roleplay channel named Impact Studios, which I will leave in the description. And I've also been pursuing voice acting. Dominantly animated voice acting. I've been cast in a couple of fan-made Dragon Ball projects, such as Dragon Ball Xeno X, and I can't mention the other ones, but I'm in a couple. So about Impact Studios, I guess I should get into my projects that are gonna be made on there. So let's get into it. First off is a classic from my channel that's been rebooted this is going to be the second reboot. It's called Elementals, and it takes place on Dragon Ball Xenoverse, but it's not, just stuck to Xenoverse. It's a saga that takes place on multiple games, which, is the best thing we can use to show how the world, progresses throughout the years. The main series takes place from the perspective of a young student named Kazuto Yami, who is born with the power of darkness, which is a power that amongst humans is very rare, and it's kind of seen as like a bad omen. So he gets trained by his mentor named Yokashi Teda, who is also his adoptive father, and together with his other classmates, they undergo many adventures and trials and hardships, and I just can't wait to see I just can't wait to show you all of you how far we've come in terms of writing and storytelling. The story itself is going to be role played, how we've been doing it, but the fight scenes will be modded and voice acted, and some special occasions will require 3D animation, which I will have somebody do for a commission, of course. So yeah, I honestly can't wait to start, putting those episodes out there. I hope you guys are excited too. Secondly is my For Honor roleplay that's been in the works for about 2 years now, and has had to be cancelled twice due to issues revolving around the cast, and just real life stuff. So the reason why the first version of the show was cancelled is because I underwent some drama with a good friend of mine, which has now been resolved. But he played a very dominant role in the show, which caused me to not really have any motivation to continue it after all that stuff happened. Now the second time I got canceled is actually a little bit of a bummer, because the person, it was because somebody left again, or well, no, they left. It was a person who was, you know, a great actor, and I tolerated him, but he just kind of was pretty toxic and had like an attitude around people and preferred to blame a lot of things on his mental state, which, you know, caused me to confront him about it together with some others, and it caused him to leave, which again ruined the future of the series because he played a pretty important role. Alright, now, Terra de Orm takes place in For Honor. It follows the perspective of unnamed warden and a couple of others, and it takes place after the main story, where the main villain of the first season will be Apollyon's daughter, who is trying to revive the Blackstone Legion. And my character, the one I play, who is a warden, he is the son of the warden who, you know, rebelled against Apollyon, and you know, together with, you know, like his friends and his allies, he will undergo trials and hardships, just like in Elementals, where, you know, they have to stop this endless cycle of war and try to unite all the nations as one. But there's a twist. This time I decided to twist the story a little bit to my own liking. After Apollyon, you know, rained war across the entire world, it kind of caused magic to be reawakened, which means that powers will actually exist in this For Honor roleplay, which means, you know, like cool effects and stuff like that, and all that type of shit. But honestly, also can't wait to show you guys that, so stay tuned. Now, number 3 is one of my personal favorites that I've been working on, but it's also the one that requires the most time and patience. It is a Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay called Dark Country, which follows Jason Knox, who is a outlaw, of course, who rides with a gang called the Wolves, which is led by Neil Roberts. It's a very mixed cultural gang, and in this world, in this version of America, the government is kind of overruled by a cult of sorts. Well, not of sorts, it's a cult that believes in very, very, very extreme things. Let's just put it at that. Jason and his brother Ethan, they were kidnapped as kids after their parents were murdered by said cult, and were raised to believe in their, you know, crazy, twisted religion. Jason rebelled, and as he got older, he eventually decided that it was time to escape, which resulted in his face being branded. But, well, how do I put this? His face got branded, but it didn't brand the way it was supposed to, so now it's just a giant scar on his face. He ran away with his brother, but his brother hasn't quite been able to overcome the brainwashing that the cult has taught them over the years, which results in him being quite obsessed with his brother and not being able to be apart from him for very long. The story, you know, goes quite the same as the original Red Dead Redemption story. It's a gang that believes what they're doing is right in this country because, you know, America is a free country, and freedom means you can do whatever you want. They will soon find out that it doesn't work that way. Currently, Dark Country is planned to have 2 seasons. Season 1 will take place in... Actually, I don't think I'm going to spoil that just yet. But stay tuned. The Dark Country, Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay. Very exciting. Now, this one is one very dear to my heart, because me and my friend... Damn, what does he go by now? Well, back then he went by Unstable. Now he goes by many names. Let's just call him Valley. I'm pretty sure that's what he goes by now. Me and Valley had a Destiny 2 roleplay that took place after a good friend of mine, EJ's roleplay, now known as Spicy Cherry. which was one of my personal favorites. Even though it wasn't the best edited or the best acted, it holds a lot of dear memories to my heart. Now, Worlds Reborn is sort of a non-canon continuation of Spicy Cherry's version of the Destiny 2 roleplay, but rather a fanon version of my character's story, which follows Grim being my, Destiny 2 character. Grim being exiled from the last city after going after Aldrin Sov to avenge Kate 6, even though Zavala told him not to, which caused Grim to question the Vanguard and the last city, which is why he fled to Europa, where he has been hiding out for God knows how long. Who long? Alright, well, but as Savathun reemerges, it is revealed that they need Grim because he was the one who slayed the Taken King, which means that he knows how to fight a god. At first, Grim is hesitant because, of course, he is a exile and an outcast from the last city. But after, someone, let's say, persuades him to come back, he sets out to get his fire team and to find his brother Crusher, who is and has always been his ears and eyes during, missions and stuff like that, because Grim is a tough guy. He's not the smartest. He is just a titan, right? He punches shit, he shoots stuff. He carries around the Ace of Spades in memorial of Kate 6 because he still grieves his friend very much. And Worlds Reborn will be a little less original, I guess, because we will follow the stories of Destiny 2, the campaigns, but with our own little personal twist to it. So honestly, I can't wait for you guys to see that as well. I'm just so excited for all of these things. Just know that they will take time because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I need my projects to look good, to sound good, and yeah, honestly, can't wait for y'all to see it. Now hold on, I'm not the only one that's gonna direct roleplays on Impact Studios. Do you guys like Dying Light? Because a good friend of mine named Coco, who actually came up with the idea to make this collab channel, is making a Dying Light roleplay named The Remaining Few. The first episode is already out, and honestly, it's pretty good, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. All I'm gonna give you is the rundown of who the main character is. The main character is named Andy, who, the first time we meet him, he's practically drowning until he is saved by two random people. They take him to their home, they try to train him and stuff like that, and Andy gets entangled in things that he never expected to get entangled in. I think you should give it a watch, because it's really good. Now, one of my best friends named Gav MC is also directing a roleplay based on Ghost Recon Wildlands called Broken Wings. Now you might be wondering why it's called Broken Wings. It's pretty simple. The entire squad that, is the main cast have bird codenames. We came up with this idea because I had a roleplay a couple years ago with a good friend of mine named Valley, the one I mentioned earlier, named Broken Wings, which ultimately didn't see the light of day due to YouTube taking down Valley's previous channel, which, was a big shock to both of us considering those shows were our babies. But yeah, Valley doesn't really do roleplays like that anymore, which is why I took it on myself to, grab the name. Now, Valley, if you're watching this, brother, if you want us to change the name, I will pay you to not have that happen, because it makes perfect sense for this series to be called this, as it follows Sparrow, Vulture, Condor, and Falcon, a group of 4 who are sent out to take down the Santa Blanca cartel. Now, they all have their own specialties, and it's a story of brotherhood, and a story of betrayal, and a story of war, and we're trying to kind of pay homage to real soldiers with this, to show, that war, it should not be glorified. It's badass, they're badass, but war is not glorified, and people get hurt, and bad things do happen in these places. And honestly, Gav is cooking with the script. A good friend of mine named Scythe is writing it, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna look great. So honestly, can't wait for you guys to see it. So yeah, that's about it. I would really appreciate it if you guys went over to Impact Studios and gave us a subscribe, as we're just starting out. We're trying to kind of build up our name here and there, considering the roleplay community on PlayStation and YouTube hasn't really been the biggest as recently. All the roleplays you find on YouTube are just GTA roleplay servers or Red Dead roleplay servers, but there's still people out here making actual roleplays like us. So go ahead and give it a subscribe. Check out the first episode of The Remaining Few. And yeah, stay tuned, man. Also, if anyone ever wants to audition, I'm sure we will hold auditions. Leave a DM, or not a DM, what the fuck am I saying? Leave a comment under this video if you're interested in joining any of these, and we'll see if we can fit a role in for you. Broken Wings is currently full, as well as Dark Country. The Remaining Few is unclear. Elementals is also unclear, and so is Worlds Reborn. Anyways, it's been your boy. Peace out. I hope y'all have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch y'all on Impact Studios.